It's a known fact that I love thrift shopping. I love looking for a great bargain for just about anything from clothes to furniture. I am proud to say that my apartment and my wardrobe is mostly thrifted items. But the story that I am about to tell you is something of a lesson to me when it comes to thrifting for items. I run a small, yet popular cafe that serves coffee, good food, and a place to study. I practically designed the entire interior and made it a point to use various pieces of furniture. I used old diner chairs and old armchairs from hotels. I enjoy what I do, and seeing customers appreciate the idea of reusing old furniture is even more satisfying. There is one thrifted armchair, however, that most customers absolutely refuse to sit on, and I don't even know why. And some even tell me they have had terrible accidents. Naturally, I didn't believe any of their stories. I couldn't imagine why they would think that a beautiful, thrifted armchair could be the cause of these mishaps. One customer told me that she sat in the armchair for almost an hour, and by the next morning had gotten into a terrible motorcycle accident. Another one said that he sat in the armchair and 3 weeks later, he lost everything in the biggest Ponzi scheme scandal to hit the city. And then there were some who claimed to have seen an oddly dressed gentleman sitting in the armchair, looking at them before disappearing into thin air. I personally think that it was all pure coincidence, and that the armchair was just a harmless leather chair with nail-headed studs that I thrifted from a hotel sale. I didn't think for 1 second that this was the cause of accidents, or that a strange, vanishing man would sit in the chair and look at my customers. There was no way whatsoever. Regardless of the stories, I brushed them aside and went about my usual task of serving coffee and snacks to my customers. I was brewing some coffee one afternoon, occasionally looking up towards the direction of the supposedly cursed chair. It stood in its usual place, which was against a wall, with shelves of books and pictures. It also had a small side table. It looked like a small reading corner, straight out of an old English library. I served some coffee to a few customers when I had this weird feeling that someone was looking at me. I looked over my shoulder, and that's when I saw something odd. I saw a man sitting in the chair. I didn't notice him or even see him walk inside. Or maybe I was just too busy with a customer that I somehow missed. I quickly walked over to him and asked him what he would like. The man just stared at me with an odd look. I looked at him and asked again what he would like. When he didn't answer, I figured he wanted to take his time before he made his decision on what to order. I then left him and went back to serving the other customers. After a few minutes or so, I decided to check back with the man again. I turned around, and to my surprise, the man was not there anymore. Where did he go? Did he just get tired and leave? Or was he called away for some business or errand? But I didn't hear or see the front door open. So where did he go? I must be letting those creepy, unreal stories get to me. I kept telling myself that there was nothing creepy happening, nor was there a vanishing man who sat in the armchair. So, like before, I shrugged it off and went back to work. That night, as the last customer left, I closed up the cafe and went to the bus stop and boarded the bus bound for my place. I sat in the window seat and waited for the bus to fill up. I looked at the cafe through the window, and I could see the armchair as clear as day. I felt groggy and yawned for a bit when I suddenly saw the man again. This time, I could see him sitting in the armchair inside my cafe. I couldn't believe it. What was the man doing inside my cafe? Was I seeing things? I rubbed my eyes once more as the bus began to drive away. I looked again, and I saw the man was gone once more. Now, I know I'm not crazy, but if I see the same person 2 times in a row, that must mean something, right? I needed some fresh air, so I decided to get off a little early. I signaled for the driver to stop the bus just a few blocks away from the cafe. I got off and began to walk along the sidewalk while the bus drove away. I kept wondering why I was seeing this strange man, and the questions kept flooding into my head over and over. Just then, I heard a terrifying crashing sound, as though something big had collided into something else. I saw people running past me towards the sound. Curious, I followed them. And once I made a turn, I stopped in my tracks and gasped in horror. The bus that I had been riding earlier had collided with a moving truck. Several of the passengers had gotten injured and some even had broken bones. Luckily, no one died. But it got me thinking. If I hadn't seen that strange man sitting in the armchair inside my closed cafe and opted to get down, I would have been in that crash and gotten injured as well, or worse. As much as I wanted to have the armchair, after seeing proof of what the customers were telling me, I didn't want to subject others to the same experience I had. I decided to sell the armchair and got another set. I still have no idea as to why the chair was making us experience these tragedies, or who the strange man was. Suffice to say, I was more careful when it came to buying thrifted items. I still can't explain it, but as far as I was concerned, I wonder what could have happened if I sat in that chair and then boarded the bus. Just thinking about it really scares me.